G'day hunters, today I'm reviewing another product. It's the Garmin Montana 650T. I used to have this GPS a while ago and I lost it, and this is just a replacement, so I know a fair bit about it. I replaced it with the same model because even after a few years I've had a look at what models are available, and this really does fit in to every category, including dirt bike riding, hunting, hiking obviously, and all that sort of thing. So with this GPS you get the car kit, so it means you'll get turn-by-turn instructions on the street, so you can actually use it in your car as well, so it's very versatile. And the kit just comes with a cradle and the cigarette lighter charger, and with a suction for the window. Suction's pretty good. It lasts about 2-3 months before it unsticks, and I've done some pretty heavy forward driving with it, and it holds pretty well on the window. Now the cradle's got the speaker in it, so that's what gives you the turn-by-turn instructions. When you don't have it in the cradle, you don't get any of the sound, just visual. So that's that one. I've already opened this and used it, but I usually just keep it in the box. So this isn't how it looks when you first open it. That's the unit itself. Pretty big screen. It's quite thick, but unfortunately there's not much you can do about that. And the thickness is mostly because it's really rugged and waterproof. I don't know how deep, but it's quite waterproof. I've been in the rain. It's had, my old unit used to have mud all over it from the dirt bike riding. Had a few stacks and it still works. And it's also quite thick because of this main feature, which I think is unreal. It's got a dual battery system. So take that lid off. That's the battery that it comes with. It's rechargeable. It charges obviously in the cradle, or comes with a USB cable which you can charge in any USB charger. Actually, it even comes with a recharger. So comes with a power pack, obviously, as well. And also USB cable to plug it into your computer. So if I'm going away on a hunting trip, I usually put it in the cradle, so I use it to get to the place that I need to get to, and it's also charging it at the same time. So when I get to the destination, it's already 100% charged. I take it off the cradle and pop it in my pocket, and it lasts for ages. But if by some chance you do run it dry and you're out in the middle of nowhere and you don't know how to get back, you just carry 3 AA batteries with you, and you just pull that battery out and just put 3 AA batteries down there. You can carry as many as you want, which means you'll rarely run out of battery. If you still run out of battery, then you're probably lost, in which case I wish you luck. Now the cover's got a nice rubber seal there which stops the water from coming in. It just slips on like that and locks in place. Now, one problem that I did find with these, with my previous one, was when dirt bike riding, the excessive vibrations, I guess, and hills and jumps and stuff like that did cause the GPS to turn on and off. I took it back to where I bought it from, and they sent it off to Garmin, and Garmin ended up doing something to it, which I couldn't tell what they did, but I think that what they did was they put a thicker pad in here which pushes the battery towards the terminals tighter, basically, to stop it from coming loose. Because what they said was that the battery was losing contact with the terminals. And since they advertised it as a really robust GPS, I thought I was a little bit upset about that because I mean, they kind of, I kind of expected it to be, something like that not to happen. So they did fix the problem, but they haven't fixed the problem on my new one, and I haven't had the problem on my new one because I haven't used it on the dirt bike. But just expect that to happen. I did ask the guy when I bought the new one if that problem's been fixed because my old one I bought 3 years ago. So I thought maybe they've fixed that problem since then. And he told me that they haven't fixed it and that the only way around it is to buy the cradle for your dirt bike, which is actually wired to your battery of your dirt bike. That way it doesn't really need this battery or these terminals. It actually uses the terminals down here. I haven't tried it, so I'm not too sure if that fixes the problem, but that's what I've been told. Okay. So one of the other features that's really handy for hunting is this camera. And initially I thought it was just another gimmick that you didn't really need it, considering we all carry phones and cameras with us anyway. But what this does is, if you're down on a game trail and you find some signs and you want to, instead of marking those signs like you normally would, with a waypoint, mark a waypoint and then write down, type in for the waypoint. It might be tree rubs of a deer or something like that. This time you can just take a photo. So as soon as you're at the tree rubs, you just put it in the camera mode, take a photo, and what it does is it stamps the location of where you've taken that photo. So it's a lot quicker. You're basically just taking photos along the way of whatever you want, and later when you get home and you plug it into your laptop, those photos will pop up as small icons in the locations on the map, exactly where you've taken them, basically. So I thought that was awesome when it comes to hunting. So you get the software with this. It doesn't actually come in the box, but you download it off the internet. And when you load the software up and you connect your GPS unit to it, it comes up with the maps that are loaded in this GPS. It comes up with the maps on the software, and it gives you a lot more features on your laptop. You can actually have a look in 3D where you might be planning a trip. You can mark waypoints and tracks and things like that, and then upload them back to the GPS and go out hunting and use that track or use the waypoints to get around. It's much easier doing it on the laptop than what it is, doing it on the actual GPS unit, I find. So yeah, that's a really good feature too. And seeing everything in 3-dimensional is really, really helpful because you can actually see valleys and ridges and stuff like that really well, and you can sort of make out where you might want to go hunting. Okay, so just turn it on. Hopefully it comes up on the screen okay. Just loading up. Okay, so it's upside down. I apologise for that. That's the main menu. Really good feature about this is you can change your profile. So it's got different profiles. That's the profile symbol there. When you go into profiles, it's got a whole heap of different profiles. So if you go fishing, you can use marine, recreational, automotive. So when you're driving around and you want directions, you'd select automotive, obviously, and it shows a little car symbol whereabouts you are. For hunting, I use recreational, and I've set up recreational in a way that it suits me. So it's just got a little arrow pointing to where I am, rather than a car or anything like that. And under recreational, I've also selected the option to record everywhere that I go. Whereas in automotive, I don't want it to record it because I don't really need to know, unless I do want it. Yeah, unless you do want to do that, then obviously that's fine. But yeah, I find recording on recreational is great only when you're hunting. So you don't get lost, and you can also see a trail on your computer when you get home of where you've been. Get out of that. It's got heaps of features. Takes a little while to get used to it, but it's fairly easy to use. Trip computer is a good one as well. While you're driving, it tells you how fast you're going and all your averages and stuff like that, if that interests you. Uh, that's the map. That's just the streets around here. It's in automotive mode at the moment. So I'll just zoom in to an area. A little bit hard to see actually. But basically it's quite easy to use. You can just, it's a touch screen, you can just move your hand around. If you want to go back to where you were, you just press the return button. Now, where to just has all your waypoints that you've marked as you're going through. Address if you want to go to an address, obviously, when you're driving. All the basic sort of stuff that any normal GPS has, plus more basically. That's pretty much it. Marking your waypoint's easy. You just, when you're in maps, you just press the cross and get out of maps, mark waypoint. It tells you, do you want to mark it as number 2? I usually like to mark it with what I actually want written on there. So I go into edit. It's got the GPS location there. You can put a note in this area, and you click into that top one and you can actually write whatever you like instead of having 002 on there. That's pretty much it, guys. Great GPS. See you next time.